Welcome back everybody to this mini series on Git for vibe coders and how it can help you become a better vibe coder. So in the first video we talked about committing changes to into a Git repository as a way to track changes made to your code base and be able to go back and forth in time and avoid polluting your code base with changes that you don't like and making it easy to undo those changes. In lesson number 2, we talked about pushing your code to GitHub as a way to back it up. We also talked about branches and how you can do your experiments in branches. In today's lesson, what we are going to talk about is conflicts and what you can learn next in your journey to become a Git master. So conflicts happen when you have two branches and you're making changes to the same code file in both branches, and when you merge one branch into another branch, you can end up with a conflict if the same line of code was changed in both branches. Git doesn't know what you're trying to do. It doesn't know which change is correct. And so it will stop in its track and stop the merge of a branch and ask you, oh, hey, how do I solve this problem here? We have a conflict and I need you to tell me which change to keep. Okay, so we're going to explore that, how we can create merge conflicts and how we can resolve these conflicts. Here's an example of a merge conflict. We've been dealing with colors since the beginning of this little series, but if you have a color equal blue on your main branch and color equals red in your feature branch, and then you're merging the two, you will get a conflict. Let's be clear here. This is a change that you've made in your main branch and a change that you've made in the feature branch. When you merge a feature branch into the main branch, if you didn't change the color since the creation of the branch, Git will not complain. It will know that the last change is the right one. All right. But if you've changed the color in the main branch after you've created the feature branch, then it will complain. Okay, so let's do a quick. I am still in my main branch over here. And let's go change the color of the body. What's this color over here on app? So first of all, let's create a branch, right? We're going to create a branch here, create branch. I'll call it test. All right, so I'm in my test branch. I'm going to go to the code. I want to go to app.css. Here we go. I'm going to go change the color of the button. I'm going to change it to green. Like this, save the file. Now my button is green. And then I'm going to commit this change back here in the commit tab. Plus, I'll say green button, commit, and I'm going to merge my branch. So let's go back to the diagram that we have where I changed the color in the feature branch. I'm going to merge it. We should not get a conflict. I'm going to do checkout to main, then I want to merge branch, merge, and I'm going to merge test. Boom. So now we're going to simulate a conflict. So we are back on the main branch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change checkout. I'm going to go back to my test branch. And I'm going to change the button color. This time I'm going to change it to blue, like this. So I'm going to save. Now if I go to Firefox, my button is blue. Now I'm in the test branch. I'm going to commit this blue button. Now I'm not going to merge my branch yet, but I'm going to go to my main branch, and I'm going to go change the color. So it was green on the main branch, blue in the feature branch. I'm going to change this to purple over here. Save the file and let's visualize it. Beautiful. I love it. Let's commit it. So let's stage the change and say purple button. I'm in the main branch. I'm going to now merge the feature branch that's called test. So I'm gonna do git branch merge. I'm gonna do test, and now we get a conflict. There are merge conflicts. Please resolve them before committing your changes. And then it shows us what the conflict is. Now you might have conflicts in multiple files, in which case you will see all the conflicting files. You can go here in the Explorer to see all your files, and it'll color it red wherever you have a conflict. But you can see that app.css is red, and the tooltip indicates that there is a conflict in there. I need to resolve this conflict. So let's go back real quick to the slides. It shows text a little bit like this. Kind of cryptic, right? Left, 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 left. Oh, smaller than symbols followed by head, a bunch of equal symbols, and then greater than symbols followed by feature. Basically what this says is that between this and the equal sign, there was a change. The color was set to blue. Now this is called head because that's where we are. And where are we? We are in the main branch. So in the main branch, the color was changed to blue. Whereas in the feature branch, the color was changed to red. We need to fix this. How do you fix a merge conflict? You remove all those kind of weird lines, okay? But if I do that, if I remove all those lines, then now I have two backgrounds. Now I have to decide which one I want to keep. And so I might say, well, I really like the purple one, or I really like the blue one. Okay, so, and if you forget which one comes from where, you need to remember where the changes were made, and the little weird symbols are useful for that. Here, Visual Studio Code gives you some functionality. Accept the current change, which is the current branch you're in, and it says in parentheses current change. Accept incoming change, which is the change coming in from the feature branch we're trying to merge. Accept both changes. Sometimes you've changed different things. Both changes can be valid at the same time. I don't know which color I like the best. I'll accept the current changes. Boom. And it just kept the current change and removed all the weird symbols from there. So now I save this. So now we need to go back to our Git setup, and we need to stage the change, okay? Because there was a conflict, we've made a change, and we resolved the conflict. So now we hit plus, and we hit continue. And just like that, the conflict has been resolved, and now we can push to GitHub. So let's recap a little bit. When you have two changes that are changing the same code because of two commits in two different branches, and you merge one into the other, you will get a conflict, and you resolve the conflict by choosing which line you want to keep. In this case, we kept the blue line. So we delete the line color equals red, and then we delete the lines that have all the weird symbols. Visual Studio Code did that for us when we selected to keep current changes. But if you do this by hand, you will have to delete those symbols and pick the line you want to keep yourself. Then you stage the correction and you hit commit, and that will and that's it. No message needed or anything. Just hit commit, and it will resolve the conflict and move on and finish the merge. Now, if there are more conflicts, it will keep telling you there's conflicts to be fixed. So you need to make sure that you fix all of them. If you don't know which conflict you want to keep, or if you don't know how to resolve the conflict, and that's very possible. In this case, we knew because we changed the code ourselves. You can ask AI to help you with that. Git doesn't know how to resolve the conflict. You won't know how to resolve the conflict. You need to ask Claude, Cursor, Codex, Gemini, whatever AI you're using, hey, there's a conflict, what should I do? And the AI should fix the conflict for you. Then you stage the correction, or ask AI to stage the correction, commit the resolution, the conflict resolution, or ask AI to commit the conflict resolution, and complete the merge of the branches. Now let's move on to Git best practices. There are many best practices, but these are just a few that I thought about to help you on your journey. We've talked about a couple of them in the different lessons that we had. Keep your commits focused. Do not mix color changes with text changes, with bug fixes, with Claude setting files, with adding new functionality or removing functionality. And the reason for that is that you saw that we did a lot of color changes in these lessons. If I had fixed a bug while I was changing the colors and committing all of that together, if I don't like the color and I revert that commit, it will put the bug back that I just fixed as well, okay? So we need to make sure that we're keeping things isolated from one another. So if I want to revert a commit that changed the color, it only reverts the code that changed the color. I don't want it to revert the color and unfix a bug. I don't want that. I just want to change the color. So keep the commits focused and to the point. Commit often. Small frequent saves are better. Just like when you're playing a video game and you're in a dangerous area, you save often. Same thing with Git. Do your commits every time you're happy with the code, and check your code often, or check the app often. You're probably not going to check in code. Use one branch per feature. For example, you're adding a payment system. Create a branch called payment and do all that code in there. Once it works, merge it back to main. You're trying to add an audit functionality. Create a branch called audit. Do the audit functionality. Once you're happy with that, merge it back to main. Branches are a little bit like commits, just longer focused. You can revert a merge. So if you've merged a branch that you're not happy with, you can revert that merge one day. Or you don't ever have to merge the branch. If you never merged a branch, did it ever exist? If you never merged a branch, then you can go back to your main branch and just stay on it. You don't have to merge the code from that feature branch you don't like. You can just delete the branch if you want to. Write clear messages. A lot of times we are in a hurry and we're like, I fix bug. Fix bug is my message. I guarantee you, if you ever read that commit message in 3 weeks or more, you won't remember anything about what you did there, okay? Don't mix changes. Like I just said, separate feature work from Claude files, bug fixes from color changes, all that stuff. Keep your commits focused and review before you commit. But always a good idea to at least test your things before you do a commit. Test the happy path of your application. Make sure that everything still works as much as possible. If you have tests, run your tests before you commit, because once you commit, you create a milestone that you can come back to. And it's important to have milestones that are good, that when you go back to a previous commit or when you undo a commit, you know you're going back to something that was good. So happy coding. I hope you had a good time in this class. I was really excited to do it, and I'm really excited to see what you guys do with that and how good of a vibe coder you can become with Git. It'll definitely take you to the next level if you don't know Git, and so I really encourage you to use it as much as possible and develop that kind of second nature of always saving your work and creating those commits, creating branches, separating the code that you're changing, keeping the AI from messing an existing code base that is currently in a good shape. So thanks for watching these videos. I enjoyed making them. I'll see you in the next series.